Hi, I'm Veronica Chisholm. I'm 16 years old and a junior at Owen County High School. I'm a member of FFA, TSA, Beta Club, and National Honor Society. I'm president of the junior class. I do think there's a drug problem in Owen County. I've recently noticed it more once I got into high school, and that's whenever I started becoming more aware of how many students and young peers do use drugs.
My name is Tyler Carter. I'm a senior at Owen County High School, and I'm the president of FCCLA, and I'm the treasurer on student council and class historian.
Do you think Owen County has a drug problem?
I personally think Owen County has a drug problem because my family has been affected by that, and just like in school I noticed several people that do drugs and their families have been affected for the same reasons. So yes, I believe Owen County has a drug problem.
Hello, my name is Catherine Beal. I am 17 years old. I'm a junior in high school, and I participate in FBLA, TSA, NHS, Beta Club, and any other optional things in my school. I believe Owen County has a very large drug problem, and I believe it starts in high school. I know several teens who do drugs, and maybe not heroin, but a lot of gateway drugs, alcohol, marijuana, anything that's smaller that will lead to that.
Okay, Tyler, what were your thoughts on the video we just watched?
The video that we just watched was very touching and educational as to telling us why we shouldn't use drugs and what the drugs will do to us and our families and the people around us.
It was really moving and touching, really emotional. It appealed to my emotional appeals, like that little knot you get in your throat when you are getting ready to cry. It makes you think about your friends and how, if this was to ever happen to you.
I thought it was very, very helpful and very educational, and it gave you a story of someone who actually had an experience and from his family, and it just shows you how much it affects not just yourself but everyone around you, and that it's not just hurting you, it's hurting your family, your friends, and just anyone around you. And it's not just something that affects yourself.
And what makes you want to be drug-free?
What makes me want to be drug-free is that I'm a leader, especially being class president, and I know that being an active member in the community, a lot of younger children look up to me, and being in a leadership position, I want to lead kids in the right direction, and I plan to have a successful future, and I don't want anything to get in the way of that.
I want to be drug-free because I know what drugs can do to your family and how they can tear your family apart, and I don't want to do that to the people around me when I get older or to my family.
I choose to be drug-free, and I would like to stay that way because I know that I want to do a lot of things with my life, and I know that that's not the way to get there.
What did you like about Red Ribbon Week this week?
I liked the presentation from the younger the testimonies from the younger women, and that it affects younger people just as much as it affects anyone older.
Seeing the participation of all the kids coming together to try to prevent their friends from using drugs, and just the awareness throughout the schools.
Red Ribbon Week, obviously it's annual and only happens once a year, so it's definitely something that once every year that gets brought up, so that week it's all dedicated to drug awareness. I like the idea that a lot of the students, wore their numbers or their little ribbon tags on their backpacks and stuff to make sure, they wouldn't forget it. They'd tag it on their backpack so they would carry it around with them everywhere, and you kind of support it while you're walking through the halls and stuff like that.
What do you think could be done better in the schools or in the community that would help combat the drug problem?
In schools, if there were more teacher participation and teacher awareness and teacher encouraging the kids not to do that things, that would help the kids. And in the community, just more things to get together for people to come to and put their thoughts on things that could be done to combat the drug problem. Like they encourage the kids to stay away from those things instead of like turning their head, like acting like they don't know about those things.
Like Tyler brought up, the teacher involvement. I know that like my teacher forgot to even hand out the ribbons on the first day, but I mean that was due to like getting caught up in work. But I think the teachers should be more motivators into participation and like guiding students through Red Ribbon Week to become more involved and participate and be aware.
I think it should be promoted more, and there should be a whole lot more activities and optional things like to have at the school, like lock-ins or presentations or anything that is given to a large body of students. The community could have more awareness, have more examples of people, present more people, have testimonies, do a lot of things like open cafe or things for drug prevention.
Is there anything, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of something that you saw or heard or were a part of that was powerful that caused you to have such a strong passion against using drugs?
A lot of testimonies, like anybody who's told me anything bad about drugs, like I take that to heart, and it's not just what they tell me that think about that. Like I would never want to do that to my family.
Do you feel like you've been educated about drugs?
I think like the assembly that we had, I think that's been like our most education about it. You know, outside of that, it's all about like schoolwork and tests. We don't really talk about much other stuff than work. So I think like the only time, like I said, like the reason why Red Ribbon Week is so important is because it's never brought up really any other time.
What about DARE? Did you guys ever have a DARE program, the junior class?
I don't think so. I've never heard of it.
What about Just Say No? Like, have you heard that? Just Say No?
Yeah.
And they push that some. But do you have any idea what you're saying no to?
Yeah. It's not really like, it's not popular, I guess you could say. Like you said, you had to remind me about it. Like that didn't like come up in my mind. Like, you know, if it was really impacted me, then, you know, I would have like told you right on the spot, like, I know what that is, but like, that's why it's not really a big promotion in our school.
Do you think that personal stories and personal testimonies are more powerful?
I do think they're more powerful. Whenever they come from strangers, obviously you can't really relate if you're not really that interested. But I think once, like especially if like friends and stuff like that, and community members, if you heard testimonies from them, it would really touch people because you have a bond or a like relationship with that person.
I'm Larry Hammond, and 13, turning 14 tomorrow. My clubs are, I'm in 2 clubs. Club A is Nerd Herd, and Club B is Sign Language. And what I like to do for fun is like run around and hang with my friends.
Okay.
My name is Garrett, and I like playing Rebel Outreach for my school, and I just like to hang out with my friends and do all kinds of fun stuff. Just like walk around town, play football.
And play what?
Play football.
Yeah.
So you do play football?
Not for the school. I'm playing basketball.
Cool.
My name is Matthew Stavros, and I'm 13, and I'm also in Rebel Outreach, and I just like to play sports.
What is Rebel Outreach?
It's like we do
Community
work
service
in
and all
school,
that.
in a way, like plant trees and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm Hayden Willard, and I am 14, And I'm in 2 clubs, History Club and Talent Search, and I like to go around and play basketball, football for fun with my friends.
I'm Austin Lawrence. I'm 15 years old. I'm in 9th grade at Owen County High School. I like to go hunting and fishing.
Alright, my name's Logan Hammond, Mandoni. I'm 14, turning 14. Get the idea. And I'm in 8th grade, from East Bowling Middle School. And I am in pottery. That's my only club. I go both times. So I make bases, make sculpts, nothing. And I hate drugs. Don't do drugs.
Okay. Do you think there's a drug problem in Owen County?
Honestly, I do think, because I know people who's experienced with drugs. Like my brother Dakota, he OD'd twice. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I know people
I was like,
who's
trying not to trigger this
experienced
video.
bad times through doing drugs. So I honestly think drugs is going around. I think it's bad in Owen County.
Do you think there's a drug problem in Owen County?
Yes, because I know some of my friends, well, not my friends anymore, they used to do it, and some of my family members back in their past, they used to do it when I was in high school.
Involved isn't hard, like you
Some of them still do.
just need to know who to talk to and what to do.
I think there's a drug problem because most of my family have been affected in ways, and some
And some of your friends still do?
I think there's a drug problem in Owen County because as a child I grew up kind of around drugs, just kind of experience with drugs, because my father OD'd in front of me
To have things like that open
on heroin, and
community.
I think the drugs are bad because even like right now I know friends who do it.
I think Owen County has a drug problem because like I've seen people do it and I've been offered it before.
We have already met with the our Indian Sanger.
Oh.
So I went up there.
I think Owen County has a serious bad drug problem, and this is really serious. I'm not even
We're coming up
playing.
with ideas.
Because I've like seen people overdose, and I've been offered it. I've denied, just to let you know. And I mean, I know a bunch of adults that just do it, and in the past few years we've had meth bust, meth labs busted, and all that explosions, fires.
Like to have something like
Ellington's just gone by.
something or
It's not pretty anymore.
Monthly, like.
anything, like to push it more than just
What makes you want to stay drug-free or want to be drug-free?
Because I've planned ahead in my future. Like, I want to go to the Navy and be a lawyer. And you can get a good job in the Navy to be a lawyer. And I want to have a good future, have a family, and a decent job, a very good job. And I want to go to a very good college too. But if I do drugs, it's just gonna ruin
I've
that.
had to do
Like,
it twice.
it's just not-
Some kids, like,
I'll get
after their
addicted
senior
and
year have never even had.
I will never stick to my goal
because you have to
if I do
participate
drugs.
to have it.
That's why I want to be drug free.
Like you have to either drive to school.
Awesome. Why would you want to be drug-free?
Because I've seen plenty of my family members go through rehab, and I know one of my cousins that just got out like a week ago from doing drugs and all kinds of crap. And
It's still like bringing
I
up
plan on getting a good education, a good job, and being able to help other people through life without doing drugs and everything.
Basketball player doesn't, he doesn't get.
I want to be drug free because I want to actually graduate college, go to college. Because none of my family, they have
We're on the beginning of the year when we get all
And,
the forms.
I know.
I just want to make a good life so I can take care of my parents and stuff.
Who got their name in that pool.
Like that.
I mean, I don't know if you know, but like the Owen County Students, they have a pool. And they
The main reason I don't want to do drugs is because of my father, and I don't want to do drugs because I want to get through school, and I don't want to mess up my aviana road.
They don't want to figure out.
I want to be able to do what I want, like mechanics
They
and
don't
stuff.
want the star athlete to not be able to play the next game.
I don't want to do drugs because I want to have a future. Drugs just tear your life apart. Drugs like control you. They make you do stuff that you don't even want to do.
Threatening the teacher at the vocational.
The reason why I don't want to do drugs is because I just really don't want to ruin my future. I've done playing things. I want to end up like my older brother, who is recently in college for computer programming, which is what I would like to do. But if I just do one single drug, my whole plan in life could just be ruined just by one touch of it. I just don't want to touch it. I want to have a successful future.
I think that, maybe there's more we can hold back.
Do you consider alcohol a drug?
Well, technically it's not, but you could because most people can
It
get,
doesn't seem like it.
I feel like they think it's just.
most people can drink too much where they just don't want to get off it. And it's kind of like a drug. It can ruin your life. It's affected many people's lives. I have family members who are alcoholics, and they've hurt other family members of mine. That's why I think kind of like alcohol is kind of a drug too, because it can mess you up like a drug. So that's why I think alcohol is a drug, kind of.
So when you get of age to drink
I'll
alcohol,
never touch it. I will never touch a single drop.
what about you? Do you think alcohol is a drug?
Like you said, sort of, but I've seen some of my family members on my dad's side get in car wrecks and get their lives taken from drinking too much and thinking they're able to handle a car when they're driving, and they just lose control.
So what do you think about when you're old enough to drink? Is that something that you would do?
No, I don't want to drink and drive and get my life taken away.
I think alcohol is a drug because you get addicted to it, and it makes you do stuff that you don't know sometimes. And when I get older, even if I did do it, I'd make sure I'm in a safe spot to do it and you can watch it.
Yeah, see, I was asked first.
I do think alcohol is a drug because it controls your life like drugs do. Like when you're on drugs, like Austin said, you do stuff that you don't want to do. And when I get older, it's one of the last things I would want to see online because I know people that's also alcoholics.
She just like,
They
didn't announce it like.
get me and try to,
Came on today,
hit the
I
family
think
members and
there's
stuff.
something came on today that there was something coming, like going on here.
It's not that I consider alcohol a drug. Yes, it is very highly addictive, but like people are gonna use it no matter what. Just as long as you use it safely and don't abuse it. Like alcohol is like the #1 leading to car wrecks and stuff. So just use it safely if you're gonna use it at all.
Is it something that you think you will use safely when you are of the legal age to do so?
Yeah, I'm not gonna drink and drive because like I've seen on the news car wrecks and everything. It's just bad.
Family friends.
Just don't abuse
all the family friends to us, and he's older than I am. It's like.
I think alcohol is kind of a drug. And the reason for that is because it's addictive and everything, and it, just like drugs, can tear your life apart because you could instantly end up in jail because I've had a recent family member, my dad, who has gotten drunk and he just went overboard, he abused it, he was just not listening. They took him to jail for a pretty long time. And he got tasered a couple of times, and I don't want to be like that when I'm older. That's just not something I want to see happen. Really, alcohol is really a drug. It shouldn't never be.
Are any of you, I'm just going to kind of direct this to all of you, have any of you ever had to take a drug test at school or for a club or program?
Not that I know of.
I'm playing football next year and I'll have to take a drug test when we play in high school.
You do?
Yeah, they make you take a pee test.
Get some friends.
I've never had to take a drug test, but I think that if they would start handing drug tests out, like just to the community better, that they could really see people who has it and try to get them help and stuff.
I really think that if they did more drug tests more frequently, like Hayden said, more people would get caught and they would be punished for what they did. And we'll know it's being punished for it is going to teach them if we have more drug tests in the schools. It doesn't matter what sport, if you play a sport or not, they should do like once a month or twice or 3 times a month a drug test to make sure our fellow students are not been doing drugs so they don't have to ruin their lives and they can grow up and have a good future.
What's the question again? I just had the answer in my head.
Have you ever been drug tested?
No, I haven't, but I almost was because I was supposed to play football, but had a recent hospital accident, so I couldn't. But really, I don't think, like Hayden and Murray said, I mean, it's good to have drug tests more frequently, but they shouldn't even have to come down to that. They should have it to where people shouldn't even be doing these drugs, and if they were, they should just be going, just have a drug test so people know they need the help to get off of this. They just shouldn't even have the drug tests frequently. They just need to go up and confess so they can just get help. It's just how they want. They should just need to get
We
help.
have posters everywhere in our school. They're not like random, even if they're only like that big.
Okay.
Everywhere.
What stood out in your mind? This past week was Red Ribbon Week at school. So my questions are to each of you. Did you know it was Red Ribbon Week? What stands out in your mind about Red Ribbon Week? And what could we possibly do better in the future to raise awareness in the school?
Well, I participated in Red Ribbon Week every time, like every day where we had to wear something or do something. I did it, and 2 days before it ended, someone pulled off my ribbon. That didn't stop me from participating. I kept participating. I wanted everyone to know that I still want to be drug free, and it's good.
So what do you mean somebody pulled off your ribbon?
Like, I guess they were just playing around and took my ribbon, and they just forgot to give it back to me. I don't know if they did or not. But
Facebook page.
we should have.
I was trying to type it in.
We should have like more assemblies. We should have students making videos of drug awareness, and just show them, let everyone know that drugs are bad.
200.
Okay.
Now 209.
What's your experience with Red Ribbon Week this week at school?
I wasn't here the 2 days that we started Red Ribbon Week, so I did not get a ribbon. But it'll help because it shows that people actually do care if people stay drug free, and it shows that people actually participate and keep trying to stay drug free.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty cool how they had different things for each day and how people participated in it. And I think they should keep doing it until everybody actually does it. And this it would help better. Also with all the drug tests and stuff, I think that would fall under good.
On Tuesday at 7 p.m.
I think that Red Ribbon Week really stands out to younger grades and kind of helps them stand or see what's going to happen to them, and especially the assembly that was on at the middle school. The guy come in, he brought real people in and had them tell their story of drugs. I think that it's good they do that, and I think that they should maybe do a walk of all people that don't do drugs and don't like drugs, maybe through Owen or something, to kind of let other people see, not everybody likes drugs and what it can do to hold signs and help and stuff, other people or something.
That's a good idea.
Really the core
I didn't get a ribbon, so I don't think my homeroom got a ribbon at all.
Why not?
I guess our teacher forgot to give them out, or but like I seen other students with them. It's good that they're doing this drug-free thing, and like they have, Hayden said, with the speakers coming in, that could be very effective for some people. Like they asked for people to come down if they needed to talk or something like that. They had like forms on the desk. They sit there and have to write the name, just write the problem down and stuff.
So that was powerful for you? You enjoyed the assembly?
Yeah. Although I had to pee all the time.
Okay.
I think Red Ribbon Week helped because like it just shows students how if you're just drug free, it shows you how much fun it could be without all this in life, and it showed like all the things you were able to do and all that. And I thought it was pretty cool. And what I think what could improve that to help even more is to have this big gigantic parade, even though we just had a recent one. Just have a big parade about it. Have signs, have posters hanging around Owen. It'd be nice to have Owen come back to normal.